Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I wanted to share with you the beautiful blooms on my new phal. I did find her name, so I was wanting to share that with you as well. This one is Phal Hilo Pink. Suits her well, I do believe. So I wanted to share that with you all, and I wanted to also go over some things about moss with you today. I've had several questions on my channel about what type of moss that I use, and I know that spring is coming. I love to say that. Spring is coming. People are thinking about repotting their orchids, so I thought I would give you information about moss that will help you today. And this is exactly the type that I use. It's the Better Grow Premium Grade Orchid Moss. Always make sure that it says Orchid Moss or New Zealand Spangled Moss, like this one does. This one is New Zealand Spangled Moss. When you rehydrate this, you're going to get a huge brick of it. Don't let this fool you. It looks like a pancake, but you will end up with a lot of moss when you rehydrate this. So this is the type that I used with my phals. And as you can see, they've grown just really well in it. This little phal right here, this is my star phal. I really did think that I was going to lose this little phal. And I put it in this moss, and she has just done so well. As you see, I don't have any holes in the bottom of this container. I wished I did have holes in the bottoms of these containers. They've grown really well. But as you know, I didn't have any orchid pots with the drainage holes when this needed to be emergency repotted. I like these cups a lot, but the next time when I use these, I will be drilling holes in the bottoms of these. It makes your life a lot easier. It keeps the moss more stable in the cup. Let me show you. I have lost a little tiny bit of moss every time I've watered this. And this has been in here for almost a year. So I'm going to need to add some more moss to the top of it. Because when you tip it over to drain it, you're going to lose little tiny bits and pieces each time. And over time, you will need to replenish that moss. So just be aware of that. Or just drill holes in the bottoms of these cups. That will make your life a lot easier. Okay. Here's Buddy Phal, and I put him in just this regular cup. Like I said, the next time I will be drilling holes. I'll have some really good drainage holes in the bottoms of these cups from now on. I just think it's a lot easier. I'm not saying that you have to spend money on orchid pots every single time you repot an orchid. I have drilled holes through just plain plastic pots, many holes in the bottoms of these pots, and they have served me well. And here is beautiful Phal Legato. Oh goodness. It really does take just a few weeks for the color to come alive in this bloom, but once it does, it just glows with color. I put this one in a regular orchid pot, and this one has done really, really well. I probably didn't need to put as much styrofoam on the bottom of this as I did, but you know, we do things and we learn. So the next time this has some moss added to it, I will probably take those styrofoam peanuts out of the bottom of that pot. This huge white phal right here has done very, very well in this Better Grow Orchid Grade Premium Moss. The reason I keep saying Orchid Grade Premium Moss is because Better Grow does have a different type of moss, and let me show you what that looks like. Okay, this is the one that I don't recommend you buy for orchids. This wasn't even meant for orchids. It doesn't say orchids on it anywhere. So Better Grow has kind of made it easy for you. They have the orchid moss and they have the regular Spangled moss. And it says to use for potting medium, for hanging baskets, growing seedlings and soil covering. So that's a completely different thing than, where did I put the, hang on, I just dropped the I just dropped the orchid moss. See, that's a lot different than this. This is orchid moss, and you need premium grade orchid moss to grow orchids in. This is more for just lining hanging baskets. And you can see it, you can see the difference in this. Now look at this. Look at the difference between the two. This is beautiful. It retains its shape. This doesn't so much so. This is just a better grade of moss, and you're going to have success with this type of moss. I've used it and I've been just very, very pleased. I showed you that other type of moss. This one, this is New Zealand sphagnum moss, and this is what my Cattleya is in, and it has been in this type of moss for years, and it's thrived in this type of moss. So either one of these, whichever one is easier for you to get, is what I would recommend. So I thought I would give you a close-up of the moss that Buddy has been in for almost a year. And do you see how it looks like a lush green carpet? Some of you have asked me, mine has not turned green. It's just the same color. If you will put it in a clear container and place this, in the sun, closer to the sun, it does need light for it to turn green like this. If I put this down into a decorative orchid pot, it wouldn't turn green like this. So it needs some photosynthesis to turn pretty and green like this. Just give it the regular amount of light that this would normally receive in a clear pot or in an opaque pot. Do you see how legatos, you can tell that this is pretty and green, even through the opaque pot. And back to Buddy. Several of you have asked me why I chose these clear cups. It was just simply because my roots tend to grow long. Not so much around the pot. They tend to push out of the bottom of the pot really, really quickly. And this is a good shape for me. I'm going to just check and see if I can find some orchid pots that are shaped like this, or like I said, either drill holes in the bottoms of them, either one. But I just wanted to show you what the roots look like once they get to going in this moss. It's really amazing. I highly recommend it, especially if you've got an orchid that you just can't seem to keep the roots hydrated. This orchid grade premium moss is just really wonderful stuff. So I hope that this helps you all. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Thank you so much for watching, and you all have a great day and be highly favored, deeply loved, and greatly blessed. And we'll talk to you all next time.